Pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Why's That? I got myself another question that actually is very brightening towards my own structure, because I don't suppose not many people get questions like these. So here we go. The question was sent by a Twitter user, and it asked me, why is that you believe equality is a right for everybody? Well, get this. Equality has been a right that a lot of us have been fighting for generations, for centuries, for millenniums to count. For thousands and thousands and thousands of years that we have been around, we too have had ourselves quite a fair share in our heritage that there was at least some point in time where equality has become something that was obscured in our timeline. And of course, it's not just about race, it's not just about gender, it's not just about sexuality even, let's say. Equality is a real big factor that a lot of us should have by now. And this is because, well, here in 2018, we have actually treated others like they were just human garbage. And I suppose it's mostly because people have been so disgusted by the fact that people have gotten themselves incarcerated for various counts and crimes. But, you know what, there's always a loophole to that. Their disgusted behavior at someone, an outrage at someone, there's always going to be a loophole to that. And that's because our minds can process the different emotions, and upon a certain impulse, let's say, we can change our behavior in a nanosecond. And of course it has happened to me so many times, but that's because with therapeutic control, I have been able to keep my impulses in check. Because I am, after all, a highly impulsive person out there, and there have been lots of highly impulsive acts that I have put up over the last few years. And some of which were pretty dangerous, and I wouldn't necessarily blame myself for it. I'd practically just blame my own mindset for something like this to happen. In spite of the fact that I have such a tremendous IQ, in spite of the fact that there have been so many gifts that I have been given since birth, in spite of so much that has happened to me these last 19 years at least, there has no doubt been a problem of mine that I have faced with equality based on myself as a person overall, based on any of the other factors that I have said. Sexuality, race, gender, any of the type. I have not had any problems of which that have had equality related issues with any of these factors, or anything else in fact. Equality is not just a trait that makes up someone's character, but it would also very much encourage others to get by without any certain issues to happen in the future. And as for me, there's nothing really that's gone on in my mind based on problems dealing with one's equality. And I know how equality is sometimes an issue for others on account of the fact that October 2018 has been little more than a trend with black people becoming harassed by whites. And of course there were so many videos on that particular trend that happened based on blacks getting harassed by whites. Racially, that is. That's what October 18 was like in a nutshell. But here in November, I'm not really seeing much about that. And for everybody else out there who does have a certain race, gender, or even sexuality, I am not treating you like anything else. I am not treating you like trash. And I'm most certainly not treating you with racial... And I am most certainly not going to be treating you with so much derogatory related terms clapped together into a ball. And this ball that would be clapped together with all the derogatory terms and all the racial slurs in terms of all the ones that are existent in today's time and all the ones that have been existent throughout the last few thousand years, there's a good chance out there that I'll most likely just throw that ball out, that ball of racism, out the door. That is what I would do. I just straight up throw that ball of racism out the door. And that is just me in a nutshell. That's what I tend to do. I tend to throw out the racism and the derogatory terms, and I just go along with it, and I have no problems with others. And that is just how I tend to roll around here. But with others out there that have a reputation, or even just a habit, to use racial slurs, to be derogatory to others out there in this world, you're just out of luck there, because you're not gonna be treated like a normal human being. You're just gonna be treated like you're trash out there. Being racist and all that, there's no real other way around it. There's really no such thing as a loophole to those who are racist. And so, I'd more than just likely be against those who are racist, because race, gender, sexuality, and all of that that's existent today, that equality tends to not be so well on. I am more than likely to just start setting up campaigns as to which that even the LGBT community, I would not ever want to have them set up in a place in which they're just surrounded by hate and misleading. I'd just have these members of the LGBT community here in America and the world even to just be in the world of equality. That is where I would have them set in. I would not have them set in a world of hate, being fired from jobs, or anything like that. I just have them set in equality. That's just me in a nutshell. Because that's just what my personality is, and that's just how I behave to others. I'd be equal to them as they would probably be equal to me. And that is how I tend to get by without any problems from others. I really do such a good job at it, and I hope that anybody out there would do the very same. Because in October of 2018, we had all of those racist moments as if it were the 1960s all over again, where the South part of the US have been fighting for equality, and the North was just all about equality in general, for all races. October 2018 was like that, of course. But, of course, here in November and onwards, we can always change back to the equality that we've always had for at least 50 years. And that's kind of much the end of it, really. I just treat people equally as if they would do the very same for me, eventually. And if you want to see more, go down to my channel. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.